I've saved my progress as enlarged bodycopy.ai found inside the O8 type folder. Now, so far, we've applied the exact same formatting to every single line in the poem, and that just doesn't work. It doesn't give us a sense for the structure of the poem. For example, most of the lines in the poem take up a single line of type, but every so often you come to a line that takes up two lines of type, such as "My chance came a week from next Sunday." And that doesn't read properly at all. Also, as you may know, a limerick is arranged in 5-line stanzas. And so, for example, the first stanza of my poem begins, "I once knew a lovely Israeli," and ends with, "I was tempted to learn ukulele." We need a gap between the ukulele line and the line that follows it so that we can keep track of what's going on inside of this poem. And we're going to address these problems by applying some paragraph-level formatting attributes inside of this exercise. So I'm going to press the T key in order to switch to the type tool, and then I'll click anywhere inside the poem. It doesn't even matter which text block you click inside of, and then press Control A or Command A on a Mac to select the entire threaded poem across the various linked text blocks. Then I'll click on Paragraph up here in the control panel to bring up the paragraph panel. And notice my indent options right here. We've got left indent and right indent. And those are pretty self-explanatory. They go ahead and indent the lines of type from the left side of the text frame or the right side of the text frame, respectively. And then we've got first line indent, which allows you to indent the first line of any given paragraph. Well, what we're going to do is we're going to create a hanging indent. And you do that by entering whatever value you like for left indent. And I'm going to enter a 1/2 inch, which is 36 points. And then you tab your way to the first indent value right there, and you enter the negative version of that same value, so negative 36 point. And notice what happens now with "My chance came a week from next Sunday," now reads as a single line inside the poem. All right, so that works out nicely. However, I figure that lines that appear in the same paragraph of text, such as "Sunday" and "My chance came a week from next," should be spaced closer together than, for example, "Sunday" and line after it, "They had a big fight in Burundi." So I'm going to achieve that. I'm going to add a little bit of spacing known as paragraph spacing that's heaped on top of the leading value, and I'm going to enter that value in the space before paragraph field here. So notice it's selected in my case. I'm going to change that value to 4 point and press the tab key. And notice now this text right here, "My chance came a week from next Sunday," is obviously together, and it's spaced just a little bit farther away from the paragraphs around it. So we have more space between "and" "my," as well as "Sunday" and "they" than we do between "my" and "Sunday," for example. And then the final thing I want to do is I want to add some paragraph spacing at the beginning of each stanza. So for example, the second stanza starts right here at "But she had a boyfriend from Sweden." So I'll go ahead and click inside of that line. You don't have to select the entire thing. And then go up to the paragraph panel once again and change the space before paragraph value to 16 point, like so. And then press the Enter key or the Return key on the Mac in order to apply that change. Now here comes the problem. What do you do about the fact that this is not the only first line of a stanza? This is the first line of the second stanza, but then together they made quite a couple. That's the first line of the third stanza, and "My chance came a week from next Sunday" is the first line of the fourth stanza, and so on and so on. And I'd have to figure out which line is which, as well as reapply my formatting attributes over and over again. Well, there's a way to avoid that tedium, and that's with the help of a paragraph style. And I'll show you how to create and employ a paragraph style in the next exercise.